Well, welcome, listeners, to Aren't You Tired Of, the podcast where we talk about things that we are tired of, but what we can do to work and live better. I'm Mark Benton, and I am here with my esteemed co-host, Patty Johnson.
Hello, everybody. Welcome. Glad you're listening.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so today we're going to talk about a topic that I know has a lot of us tired, and that is finding ourselves in this season where we're parenting everybody.
Yeah.
Right? Really hard. Your kids need you, your parents need you, right? Your work needs you, the group chat needs you. And somehow you're supposed to stay well hydrated, exercise, as well as stay emotionally available, right? And also have maybe one or two hobbies.
Sure. All the above.
All the above. I know. So can we just say it out loud that it can get real complicated?
It can get very complicated. I know. Yes.
Yeah, as we say, it's hard.
Yes, it is hard.
Hard. What do you think about this topic, Patty?
I think for me, and I'm really excited to dive into this because in terms of just guilt and feeling like I'm never doing enough, my shoulds are running miles an hour. And also I think the season of just feeling obligated to everybody, everybody and everything. Yeah. And so this is going to be great to just dive into this thing and get some ideas.
I know. Okay. So we have a guest today, and I'm really super excited to introduce her. So Catie Keogh. Listeners, we can't hear you, but I hope there's lots of claps out there right now. Just clapping, thunderous roars of excitement. Catie is got lots of different things that she's doing, but she's referred to as, a college mom, in her second act, a midlifer, doing things, at her own pace and on her own grace, and has, this unique and interesting way of talking about her life and being in that in-between, parenting everybody. She has, some great skits out there and reels that she puts out on Insta around Chateau Mom and Dad. So if you catch Catie Keogh on Instagram, it's a hoot. But Catie, welcome.
Welcome, Catie.
We're so glad you're here.
Well, Thank you so much for having me. I'm just so excited to be a part of this podcast. So thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're having this topic about parenting everybody and everything. And not too long ago, I was on Insta and just checking out, what was going on the gram. And, I come across your content and it makes me smile. Just remembering, and we'll talk about how we know each other here in a second.
I know, it's a good one. We go way back, Mark.
And so, but your content's great. It's super great. So what gave you the idea? What had you start thinking about, putting, your energy, out for others to enjoy and learn from?
Well, just like most of us, I was out in the corporate world for a long time, and then, got into TV, was kind of doing that, and I liked being on TV. As you know, Mark, and we'll get into this in a minute, but I was an actress deep down, and it just never happens for me. So you just keep going, and you live your life, and you have your family, and all that. Yeah. And so I did improv comedy when I moved to Chicago, and I've always been that improviser kind of at heart. And so when my daughter went off to college, I just thought I'd have some fun with it. And I had people tell me, don't do that. It's, it's not professional, all that. And you're like, I don't care. This is my hobby. And I just wanted, it was inside of me. So I started doing these videos and moms just kind of kept coming in and saying, oh my gosh, that's me. And I'm going through that too. And I think it really helped me, the process of becoming an empty nester, because we only have one daughter. Yeah. It helped me kind of lean into becoming an empty nester and enjoy that stage of my life. So I love it. It's been wonderful.
Yeah. Well, the content's great.
It is great. And I will say for me, Catie, that stretch of becoming an empty nester was probably one of my hardest. Because you think like your career, I'm super busy. It's not going to hit me. I'm not at the school every day, all day volunteering. But yet it's like, oh my gosh, it just kicks you in the butt. And I'm wondering, like for you obviously found some humor in it when you're still the parent, but how did you kind of make that shift and come up with the way to get your humor out there?
Yeah.
Oh gosh. How did I come? I did just come to me, and I'm a born improviser, and I kind of live my truth in that I just kind of talk about what's actually happening. So I do a lot of empty nest content too, because it is hard. You know,
It
no
is
one talks
hard.
about it. No one talks about it. We're just supposed to get,
I
drop them
know.
off and keep going. And I think I could have cried or I could laugh. And I decided to laugh because I mean, there are moments and you're like, this is like, the house is really quiet.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Catie talks about, loving improv and being an actress at heart. And, we actually met our junior year in college. No,
High school.
Well, see, I'm trying not to make us sound so old, but yes,
Oh no,
it was.
You're the old one. I'm younger.
Well, we met in high school.
Mm-hmm.
Catie was a new girl.
Oh,
right. And
I came my sophomore year from Chicago to Texas, and I have to tell you, Mark Benton was like the kindest, nicest guy. Just exactly who you are right now.
Oh,
I'm gonna cry. Why am I gonna cry?
My goodness.
No, truly, you were just so kind to me. When you're a new student, you don't know anybody, and you were just always so welcoming. So thank you. I'll never forget that.
Oh my goodness.
That's so
sorry. I'm hormonal. I'm going through menopause, and I get very.
That's okay. Catie, listeners, Catie does a lot of work and with MIDI as well, and so you might want to talk about that.
Yeah, but we did Grease together. Do you remember?
We did Grease. We did a high school production of Grease. She was Sandy.
Hey, you got the starring role.
She did, of course. I was.
Of course, she did.
I was the teen angel.
Well, he fits.
Beauty school dropout.
It fits.
Yeah.
You guys were playing to
Absolutely.
type.
Absolutely.
But I just want to excuse my tears for a second. No, I don't. I don't apologize for them. But I just want you to know that, like, you just made a difference in my life.
Oh,
that's so.
You know what?
So kind.
I so appreciate that. I remember our time together fondly, and so to see what you're doing now, just like I told you, it brings a smile to my face, and I just am so thrilled, and I learn from. I send it to everybody.
Oh, you're so sweet.
The one that cracked me up the most is you have one of your clips where you're talking to your mom, and I think if I have it right. You're talking and you're really kind of talking about, planning and we've got to, get things in order, Mom, and it's important. And she says something to you and then she's like, wait a minute, I don't think my hearing, you say something like, oh yeah, so this is clear and you're on board. And she was like, And then she talks about her hearing aids aren't on.
Yeah. Oh, wait, my mom, by the way, was meant to be on the camera. She loves it. And I love this time we get to have together because these are real questions. All jokes aside, it's like we're all like my mom's in her 80s, and we know we're starting to kind of figure out like what our goals are, and kind of going back to like me kind of not that I take on a parent role because she's always my mother, but like more responsibilities kind of toward that. And but she loves it, so I've been really enjoying doing these videos with her because it's like she's so excited, and it gives her something, and people recognize her. She gets recognized, or they ask me how
hilarious.
It's a gift. It's been
I love that.
Hilarious.
I love that. The other one that Catie has that I just really love is where, she's like a concierge, right? And you're talking, and I'm assuming, the character that she's talking to is her daughter. And, she is, the purveyor of the Chateau Mom and Dad. And so tell us about one of those and how you came to that, idea, because they're all so genius and the improv in it is just great.
Oh my gosh. Well, thank you very much. You know how it came to be. This is, I always love it because this is what happens. Usually I'm walking my dogs or when I come up with ideas for some reason, or I'm in the shower, all that. But for this one, my daughter was coming home for college and she said, hey, Mom, could you, stock the refrigerator for me before I get home? I'm like, absolutely. What do you need? She's like, well, if you go to Trader Joe's and get this, and then go to Whole Foods and get this. Oh, and can you wash the dogs? Because I just don't want them to be like smelling when I get home. And I was like, what am I, your concierge? And that is truly how it started. Because I was like, wash the dogs.
Like,
yes.
But did I do all of those? I pretty much did.
Of course you did.
I was so excited to have her home and all that. And then that just resonated. That one took off and I got a lot of attention from that one, which was amazing. But truly living my truth, like that really kind of happened. I mean, I always have to say this. I exaggerate everything because that's what you do. Because sometimes my daughter would be like, Mom, people are going to think like that I'm really like this. So sometimes, they always stem from truth, but sometimes I have to exaggerate a little bit.
Of course, to make it funny.
Makes it good. So, Patty, I was going to say, you have 2 sons.
I do. I have 2 sons, but I'm really curious from Catie because I know behind that humor is a little bit of truth, I'm sure, some of your experiences. I'm curious for you, while you're bringing that humor to those situations and taking care of your mom and dealing with empty nesting, you're still juggling the whole parenting. A lot of people, what have you learned now that you didn't know maybe 10 years ago?
Yeah.
gosh, I feel like 10 years ago, and I don't know where you guys were at that place of raising. I feel like I was in the thick of it, right? So my
Yeah.
daughter's 20 now. So 10 years ago, she's 10.
Yeah.
I'm working a full-time job, trying to make her games, her practices, all of that. Like, so I feel like I have so much more time now to think about it. Also, my parents need me more. They didn't need me 10 years
Yeah.
ago.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, life has shifted so much. I feel like 10 years ago, it's hard to like kind of like, what I've learned now. Gosh, I've learned so much. I think I've learned to just be more, enjoy the moments more and be more
Mm-hmm.
patient. That's a skill I'm
Mhm.
trying to learn is that I was always moving so fast all the time 10 years ago. And now I'm like, just relax. Or it's okay to say no because
Yeah.
I said yes to everything 10 years ago. So maybe that's what I've learned. I learned to say no a little bit more.
Yeah.
When do
Yeah.
you say no now? Like where have you learned to say no that maybe was harder for you?
Jobs that I get now, they either like I used to say yes to everything. Again, I'm a yes man, a yes woman. So I feel like I just am like, sure, yeah, I'll do it. I just did that a lot. And now I'm like, does that serve me? No,
Yeah.
I don't. So I have to think about it, but I still am like, even now, like my mom will call me up, God bless her, I love her. And can you take me to the doctor? Can you take me there? And I do. I try to do as much as I can, but there are days you're like, Mom, I have like work I have to do. So
Yeah.
that's been hard. I don't want to say no, but sometimes I have to say no because
Yeah.
I have that I've committed to as well. So
Yes.
Yeah. That's interesting, Patty. In our other episodes, we've talked about that guilt
Putting
and
ourselves last.
putting ourselves last. That
Mhm.
was the last episode we dropped on Monday. And the thing about it, that guilt and feeling like you have to be everybody, everything to everybody, I think it's so important. I understand that, Catie, because Patty and I have talked about the fact that in this season of life, with everything we're doing, because we're not done yet, right? We still
God, I'm
got.
just getting started, Mark.
Me
Seriously.
too. Me too.
Yeah.
And you saying that out loud like that gives me permission because sometimes I'm
Yeah.
like, you're too old. You just need to
Yes.
go somewhere, put yourself out to pasture. And I'm not going to do that.
No way.
So I'm just getting started. But I think that guilt comes in, and you said something about, I'm saying no more. We had a conversation about our yes is valuable.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
When we say yes, we only have so much time. We only have, so much energy. So when we say yes, that's valuable. And so I love that we and you are saying, you give yourself permission to what you're going to say no to. But when I say yes, that's valuable.
Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely. I'm curious too, Catie, in terms of, talking about your situations of, and they're hilarious, right? To listeners, please follow Catie. But I have to say, behind some of the humor, like the concierge that when you were the concierge and your daughter won all the stuff,
Yeah,
there's some truth behind that of feeling,
always. Yeah.
mom, you still want to be the mom, you still want to be. And so I'm curious for you, like, what do you think is resonating with other people that are following you? Because they're getting the humor, but they're also thinking, like you said, somebody's saying, that's me.
yeah.
How is that humor helping them, do you think, kind of deal with the juggle?
Well, it's kind of amazing. I have women get in my comments, they'll say, you got me through a really tough time. And that's when you're like, wow,
Right.
I'm supposed to be exactly what I'm doing right now is exactly where I'm supposed to be. So
Yeah.
I love that so much because, I just want them. Here's the thing too. And I think, talk about this stage of life. There's not as many people in our age demographic that are on Instagram and are out there talking about this. Cause that's another thing is like, no one's talking about this. It's like,
Right.
let's make it funny or not. Let's embrace it's frustrating too. Sometimes it's not always, laughter and all of that. There's just so many things that I feel like I was not prepared for this stage in terms of like, I've got a lot more responsibilities, right? Going back to that, right? And so I feel like there's so much I want to do. I feel like a horse and I want to run,
Yeah.
but I've got responsibilities that need to also
Mhm.
say, wait, hold on, you got to stay in the pasture a little bit longer.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
So it's interesting. I think I went away from your question. I don't even know if I answered your question. Did I answer it?
I think it was. What you're hitting on is what I was going to ask to that is, what do you think we don't admit out loud during this season that we keep to ourselves and we don't think anybody will understand? Not just about the guilt, because, you do feel like I can't be everything to everybody, but what else like runs through your mind, that you're like, I'm not going to say this out loud, but I'm going to ask you to say it out loud now.
Okay. I guess, wow, this is like, sometimes it's really hard being the one always responsible. Like
Yeah.
I would love to be the one that says, I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna go for my dreams. And I want to so badly, but to say but I have responsibilities, and it's not a burden. It's a privilege.
Yeah.
It's a privilege to have my parents, and I love them, and it's a privilege to be my daughter. I have my daughter, and all those things. But sometimes I would love to do stuff just for me, and I guess I don't say that out loud enough. Of like, when is it my time? Because everyone comes before me, right?
Yeah.
And now it's just time in my life where I'm like, I would love to put myself first, and that's something I wouldn't say out loud, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. How about you, Patty?
It's funny because we talked about this, right? Putting yourself last. I think that is, sometimes there's guilt associated with it, or like I don't know about you, Katie, but it's like, I want to do the right thing. I wanted these things. I want to care for my parents. I want to care for kids. I want to be there for them. Even as adults, you want to do all those things, but at the same time, it's still hard to say, okay, well, what do I need in this situation? What do I want in this situation? And so I think
But it's selfish to say that. That's how we think, right?
It feels that way.
Like selfish. Yeah,
yes,
right.
It feels that way.
Yeah.
And so, your humor to me is a way of kind of, you're talking about it, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The issue is real. It's just you're going at it with humor.
It's always real. Like in the beginning, I remember my daughter didn't call me enough. Right. And I was like, why is she not calling me? So then I did this whole bit about like, the phone rings, and like you go running and you're like, oh, it's not her.
Yeah.
Or you missed your call, or you missed the call, and you're like, oh my gosh, hello? And she's like, I can't talk now. It's over.
busy.
Like you missed your moment, and you're like, and it's so true. We just wait for them to call us.
Yeah.
And then, and talk to them whenever they want. Exactly.
Yes.
I'd be in the middle of a meeting at work, and she'd be like, can you talk? And you're like,
yeah, I can.
I know. I've done that too.
Yeah.
I've stepped out of a meeting like, this is very important. I'm gonna be right back.
Same here.
And then my older son Joshua would be like, Dad, I need $20.
Yes.
But that was the most important appointment I had to take. I had to
if Will,
right?
If Will Johnson calls you, you need to pick up because something's
going on.
He either needs something or there's something
happening.
Yeah, because he's a texter. So you do. It's like
if they call you, there's a reason. Yeah,
yeah.
Right.
You got to get it. Yeah. And it's a little bit like you're talking about, a little bit like the high school boyfriend that's not that into you. Oh, the phone. Oh, he's calling. It's like that with your kids.
That's right.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
I know you have to play. You got to play the long game.
You got to play the long game on it.
Yeah,
they come back around.
Hard to get with my daughter.
Yeah, they come back around.
Yes,
they do. Well, I was going to ask you this. So, Katie, you have a daughter that's in college. And just finished up, I guess, a semester, right?
Yeah, she's finished her sophomore year.
Sophomore year, right? And, I have 2 sons. We have 2 sons, and both of them are out of school.
Same, 2 boys.
Patty, you have 2 boys.
Mm-hmm.
I want to talk about, I was going to ask you earlier, that empty nest. Like, once your second left, once Patrick left, right? And it was just you
and Jim,
as I call him.
The deacon.
Yeah. You and Deacon. What was that like? Because I have a couple of stories. I'm sure Katie has a couple of stories. But there's people right now, their kids are graduating, right? And they're about to go off. And some of our listeners might be in that empty nest. And
also, the empty nest is not a temporary, it's not a 6-month thing.
No.
And I would agree with what Katie said. I think the thing that threw me the most, you go through so many seasons in life. I'm like, think about when you had a baby or when they were toddlers, you're supposed to be doing this and you do this and there's all this and this and this. And I was so unprepared for that, for just what a slog it was and how much it changed everything. Because you think about, like you said, when your daughter was 10, you were taking her to activities. Even in high school, you're going to football games, it was busy parents that were parents of other kids. And so it was a whole system that you were part of that just changed immediately.
Yeah.
And, so I'm curious, like for Katie, what advice? We were big on tips for our listeners. What can people take away? What can they learn from it?
Yeah, so
and so I think
empty nest. How'd you get through it?
How'd you get through it?
Yeah.
You're still going, probably.
Yeah, I'm still going, but I think before we had kids, right? We lived full lives.
Yeah.
And it's like, and so it's like, I had a lot of fun before I had my daughter. And so it's sort of like, that's what I'm trying to say is like, let's go back having some more fun.
Yeah.
Also, I don't know why this always comes to mind, but I remember when I was younger and I would go to the store. Sorry, Mark, about this part, the beauty store, whatever, trying lipsticks or whatever. And I would be like, do I want pink or do I want like a light pink or a darker pink? Then you get into the stage of your motherhood. You're like, I don't care. Just give me anything. I don't have time for that. Now all of a sudden I'm back and I'm like, ooh, I like do my hair. I do my makeup. I decide a pink lipstick or a dark pink. So I love this time. It's like, this is my time. So I'm kind of leaning into it. And to be honest, now that my daughter's back, well, the kitchen's dirty again.
It is true.
Big mess. And all of a sudden, I'm like, I had a little routine going. And sort of my routine is being interrupted. So I think if I had to give anyone advice, I would say lean into it. Lean into what you did before, right? Before kids, what did you love to do, right? For me, it was acting. For me, it was comedy. It's always been that. So I kind of leaned back into that.
Perfect.
But for you, it might be, doing more crafts or I don't know, like whatever it is that makes you happy. I would tell people just to kind of lean into that because once you do, you're like, this is great.
Yes.
Yeah.
You've got space.
Yeah. And I feel like truly, I did my job and she's a great kid. And now it's like, now is my time. And it's like, what is it that I want to do? Because we have this moment, hopefully, if you're lucky and you've got your health and all those things, it's like, we have this time right now to do whatever we want. And we're in this society now too. It's like, you could do whatever you want,
do whatever. So, yeah.
So I feel like I'm super excited about this next chapter. And I feel like we all should feel that way. You did your job.
Yeah.
And it was, and they'll always be there and they'll come back.
Yeah.
But now what do you want to do in your life?
I love that. How about you, Patty? Because you and the deacon, y'all had
the deacon.
y'all had
He's by the way, Mark is the only one who calls him the deacon. And Jim will be listening to this and going, oh, good grief, Mark, what are you doing?
I'm giving reverence to the deacon.
He won't care. Yeah. I don't even know why we started calling that. But anyway.
I do.
Yeah. But I think, well, I'm going to just comment too on what Catie said. I'm thinking back to the first part of this conversation about how, you said you were kind of an actress and comedian at heart, even back in high school. And yet you had all this success, as an anchor and all these other big things. But yet you've circled back to that love. And I think that is a really valuable lesson for listeners to be able to say, okay, well, back when I was in high school, what were those things that really charged me up? And how do I grab them again?
Yeah.
And, you were commenting on that. I think that is a really big lesson for anybody listening, Yeah,
absolutely. And Mark and I were acting together back in high school together. But it truly was, for me, it was being on stage. Yeah. Mark, do you still feel like you have that acting in you or?
I do.
He does.
I do.
100%.
And I try to bring it out in ways like whether I'm at work or, sometimes I'm in, doing what I do in human resources and talent management and, coaching others. Sometimes I have to put on a character, to get through the conversation. Sometimes I do.
You were always so fun and funny. And you just walked into the room, you were pure sunshine. And I just remember being like, oh, I thought for sure you would have been an actor or something on stage because you just had a presence about you.
Thank you.
And I know you still do. It's carried. So that's why I was interested to know what Mark you were doing. And but I think But I think you go back to that.
Yeah, we go back to it. It's a love and it never left. And I'm able to, as they say, scratch the itch, Yeah, it's good.
Mark's going to run away. He's going to run away and join the acting troupe.
Yeah.
I'll get a call from him.
With me, Mark. Next to me because I haven't really told anyone this, so you guys are kind of getting this.
Okay.
But I just closed a development deal out in Hollywood. And they're going to be doing a whole thing about my POV, my point of view as an empty nester mom.
I love it.
And I'm telling you this story. We haven't been picked up by a network as of yet, but hopefully that's our next hoop to get through. And I haven't really shared this. But I'm sharing it because I want you to know, whoever's listening right now, that your act potentially is just beginning.
Yes.
And I waited my whole life for this, and it never came. Yeah. But now it's coming when it's supposed to come, and it's right on time, right? It's that whole thing. It's like, I wanted it so long ago, and then all of a sudden I gave up on it. Yeah. And now it's circled back around, and I'm like, that's the beautiful thing. It's like there's so much you have left to accomplish, and to kind of keep that, remembering that. The world needs you.
That's incredible. Catie, do you know Leanne Morgan? Do you know of her?
I know of her. Yes, of course. She's an icon. Yes.
Yeah, she is.
Similar story.
Similar story.
She's just, at 50, kind of all of a sudden, I'd always wanted to be, anyway, not to get into her story, but it reminds me, it's another good lesson. If any listeners that do follow her, she's gotten big into comedy, but started at 50
but was always doing it. And that's how I look at myself too. Like, I've always been doing this. but then all of a sudden it's like you're an overnight success. But I've been working on it for years, and same with her. She was doing her stand up, but then didn't really get her real exposure till Instagram. So,
That's
but
right.
there's just so many opportunities for people at our age. And I just feel like that's what I'd love to just kind of get that message out. Just keep going, figure out what it is you love.
Keep going. And I think the thing that we talked about, the juggle of parenting your parents and you're parenting adult kids, and some people still have kids at home.
That's right.
And I love that you're saying no matter where you are in life, don't lose yourself. Like find what it is that that really charges you and give it effort and time, which you did.
And go out and have fun. Stay social. That's another thing too.
100%.
I love my husband, but like that man could stay at home all weekend and watch sports, and you're like, let's go have some fun. So I'm trying to get us to do more fun things together as a couple, because we like to bike and those types of things, but we're in Chicago, so we're not doing that 9 months out of the year. So what are we doing the other 9 months? So we're still trying to figure that out, because he wants to go to a baseball game. That's like, I really don't want to do that.
Yeah.
So we're
right. I can't want it. I don't want to do that. Right.
Yeah. I mean, I faked it long enough. You know what I'm saying?
I love that. The thing that I'm also hearing that I want listeners that are in this stage to, really, tap into is it's important to be in touch with what gave you energy, what brings you joy, right? A lot of times we walk away from that because of the obligations and because of the things we think are in front of us. But the thing that's really important, and I'm listening to this conversation and really inspired by you, Catie, because I love the story of I've always loved to do these things that I do. And you kept at it, you kept building toward it. And then, now you have a potential exciting new opportunity, that can take you to where you want to be. And you know what? It's never too late. I want the listener right now that's hearing this and they're wondering, it is never too late.
Yeah.
I mean, we tell our kids this too, right? Like I always tell my daughter, it's like, do what you love. And what's that expression? If you do what you love, you'll never work a day in your life.
That's right.
Right? It's that same sort of thinking. It's like, go in and like, what is it? This is the first time you get to say, I get to think about me.
Yeah.
So what is it do I love to do? And you don't have to be on Instagram, or you don't have to any of those things. It's like, what gives you purpose and what brings you joy? It could be volunteering. It could be out backyard gardening. I mean, it doesn't have to be like in front of the camera.
For sure.
I think, because I have a girlfriend. I don't know. Do you remember Caroline Watt?
I do remember Caroline Watt. Shout out Caroline. Yep.
Hey, Caroline. She still is one of my best friends.
Oh,
and
that's great.
She was like, I want to figure out what it is I want. She'll hate that I'm talking about her right now, but
she would. Yeah.
The last thing she wants is to be on camera. That's not what she wants, but it's like, what is it that you love? It's like she loves to bake and she loves it. And so, I think we're all trying to figure out what it is that gives us purpose at this stage, right? So everyone's different. And I guess my point to this is like, you don't have to be on Instagram. You could just find gardening, or she likes to like needlepoint and do those types of things. So it's whatever makes you happy.
And even those times when you feel like the obligations are heavy, those people that are like, I've got the big job, I've got the kids, I've got the parents that are very demanding, need a lot from me.
Yeah.
Even in those times, still like those little, I mean, you light up when you talk about those little small things you're doing.
Yeah.
And I think it's still to make the time for yourself. That's been a theme we've had on multiple podcasts.
Making the time.
Making the time. I'm kind of watching our time, and we have a segment that we do right before we leave. So I'm going to have you both kind of think about what is your takeaway from this conversation that we're having that you want listeners to, really hold on to and remember from this conversation. So both of you, think about what your takeaway is. But one of the things I wanted to say is, this episode is going to fall between Mother's Day and Father's Day, right? And so whether you have your parents with you still, or no longer, or whoever that figure is in your life, I love something that you said earlier, Catie, around just being so grateful to have the opportunity to take care of those who took care of you, and, I hope that, our children are listening or will listen to this and that you'll take care of us.
Yes.
That's right.
Please.
Trust me, that's my whole plot. My whole ploy right now is like, how am I going to get my daughter to take care of me? I'm like, being real nice to her.
Yes.
I know.
You're gonna be telling her to stock your fridge here before long.
That's right.
Like, hey.
That's right. And make sure your hearing aids are on.
Exactly. Exactly.
So, we're going to end with you, Catie. But Patty, from this conversation, your takeaway. What do you want listeners to take away?
I have two things that might be breaking the rules. One of them is keep a sense of humor. You don't have to be on Instagram like Catie and have a big following, but I think you are looking at situations that some might think that's kind of stressful. You're finding the humor in it, and that sustains you, I think, and makes it so much better. I think the other thing is that even in times of high demand, a lot of responsibility, what do I need here? What's good for me? And don't lose that. Like for us, we're getting back into golf. Find whatever those little things are and make some time for it, so you'll be recharged for all your other obligations they're there and you want them to be there. Those are my two takeaways.
I love that. My takeaway, listeners, for you is find your ride or dies, your people. Find your people that no matter what's going down, you can call them and they're ready. They're at the ready to listen, to show up, to be there for you. Because during this season of life, when you feel like you have all these things going on, you need those people in your life that you can just pick up the phone. You need those people in your life that are going to text you. They don't need anything. They don't want anything. They're just texting to check in. So embrace those people. Obviously don't take those people for granted, but know who those people are, because when you need them, gosh, it's so great to have them. So I hope that listeners take that away. How about you, Catie?
That's beautiful. I say you're right on time. Yeah. And when one door closes, another door opens. Yeah. And to not be sad. This is a chapter, at least for me, I'm ending with my daughter, growing up and becoming, a young woman. And now I'm opening another door to another chapter of my life that I'm really excited about. So don't be afraid to walk through and just embrace whatever that door has to open, because it was a beautiful chapter. I loved my time, but gosh, look what's ahead.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Excellent.
Absolutely.
Yeah. That's excellent. So this has been a great conversation. I think the three of us have done good work here.
Yes. Very
I think
good.
we've done
I
good
loved
work.
it. Are you guys looking for a third?
Yes, come on.
Hey.
So, Catie, just remind listeners how to stay in touch with you, how to follow you, just how do they stay close in your circle?
Well, thank you. And if you're listening right now, I'm just so glad you're here. My name is, you can follow me on Instagram, really. That's probably the best place to find me. And it's Catie with the C. If you just put in Catie, I think I come up first. Last name is Keogh. But yeah, I would say Instagram and say hello. I'm excited for this new chapter and I can't wait for y'all to join me.
Yeah. Yes. Check out our content. It's excellent.
So much.
And it's so helpful. Patty, where can people find us?
Aren't You Tired Of on Instagram? You can follow us there. You can listen to the podcast on Apple and on Spotify. And we would love it if you would subscribe, leave a review, give us your feedback. We appreciate it. Please, come hang out with us.
Yeah, we love to hear from you. Thank you, Catie, for joining us today. This has been a treat.
Pleasure. And I've been on many podcasts, and I have to tell you, I feel like the rapport we had was wonderful. This is probably one of the best ones I've been on. So thank you.
Thank you, Catie.
Awesome.
Have fun. Be in touch.
Thanks, Catie. Thank you, listeners. Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.